All right, quick break before we get started here today. I want to tell you about something that keeps coming up with the brands that I talk to. Now, here's the reality. If you're running paid ads right now, your ad platforms are probably only seeing about 40% of your actual conversions. Think about the iOS restrictions, the ad blockers, all these privacy changes that have happened over the last few years. They've all created this massive blind spot in your data. And so you're making these ad decisions based on incomplete information. And I've watched brands kill campaigns, honestly, that were actually working. They've just looked like losers in the dashboard. But I've also seen people pour money into campaigns that look great. But the reality is these are just taking credit for sales that they didn't drive. And so if you're spending $500 a month or even $50,000 a month, to me, that's really expensive guessing. And that's what my sponsor on today's episode actually solves. Their company is called WeTracked, and they're at WeTracked.io. It completely fixes this problem. They are the #1 highest rated ad tracking solution on Shopify. They have over 7,000 brands that are using this solution to get accurate conversion data back to Meta and back to Google. And technically, it just bypasses all of the tracking restrictions so that these algorithms can start actually learning your store and what's actually working. And the setup takes 5 minutes. There's no coding required. And believe it or not, they actually have real human support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's not a ticketing system. And literally, you can test out their solution right now for 14 days. And you can see the difference, honestly, in your data right away. So you can go to WeTracked.io/e-commerce fastlane, or you can just go to the show notes. There's a special link in this episode, and you get a special 10% off for you, our amazing listeners. So, all right, let's jump back into today's conversation.
You're listening to E-commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder, and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Well, welcome back to E-commerce Fastlane. I am your host, Steve Hutt. Now, today's conversation, I think, is all about a question that I believe really is keeping a lot of Shopify merchants up at night. And it really is your affiliate program like actually making you money, or is it just good at taking maybe credit for sales that were going to happen anyways? Like, think about that for a second. If you're running an affiliate program and maybe your dashboard is, I don't know, for the month is showing maybe you've driven $50,000 in sales, let's say last month, and you're paying out maybe $5,000 in commissions for that 50 grand, okay? But what if I told you that almost, I'm guessing here, but I think this is kind of a reality from my research. Imagine if it was like only 30,000 of that actually came from customers. They were already going to buy, and they already had the items in their cart, and all they did was kind of, I guess, Google for a coupon code just before checking out. And so here it is. Now you're paying like an extra $3,000 in commissions for revenue that, you know, you were already going to earn. And I think that's the problem with most kind of affiliate programs. They really, it doesn't sound the greatest here, but I think they're kind of built to kind of hide that information from you and not reveal it. And I think that's why I wanted to get my guest on today, Yash Chavan. He is the name should sound familiar because Yash was on the show last fall for his platform called Saral, which is the kind of influencer OS system that he had, this operating system that he's created. And I'll put a link in the show notes. I think it was episode 427. But in any case, he's on the show today because what's interesting is that he's built something new, and it's called Saathi, and it's spelled Sathi, and it's just launched in the Shopify App Store. It's really interesting. It's kind of a companion to your affiliate program, and it's a cookieless tracking. I don't want to dig too much into it because I want to hear exactly from Yash. So once again, welcome back to the show.
Steve, thank you for the amazing intro. Thank you for always having me on to talk about some of these things. So yeah, I'm super pumped to dive into some of that.
Absolutely. Well, we talked just before recording and I want to just, we talked a little bit about this, predictable pyramid for influencer marketing, but since then you've kind of launched this whole entire new product, this Saathi.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about what did you see inside Saral that made you say, we need to build something that's completely separate to solve this particular problem?
Fantastic question. I think there's two sides to an influencer program. One, which is what you touched upon, is fraud. There tends to be a lot and significantly higher than what most brands think degree of fraud in their influencer affiliate programs. That's one side, which means you're incentivizing people who are not really driving like any real sales for you. It's like they're just capturing the sales that would have anyway happened, right? So that's one, such as coupon sites, fraudulent affiliates who place orders for themselves, affiliates driving click farm traffic, things like that, right? So that's affiliate fraud was one. The other side to this was almost like quite the opposite, which was brands are not incentivizing the influencers who are truly influencing. What I mean by that is most affiliate programs rely on cookies and last touch tracking,
right?
Which means when 5 influencers post about you, the last person who posted or dropped a coupon code at the right time gets 100% of the credit for the sale, but the other four don't get anything. So that was broken, and then what eventually that leads to is the other 4 people stop posting about you, which means your affiliate program then eventually tanks and you stop working with them. So what we wanted to do was like, hey, this is like a serious problem where literally the measurement infrastructure for affiliates is broken in 2 ways. One, the fraudulent people are getting more commissions than they should, and then the people who are actually doing all the work are not getting the commissions that they should. So it's like it was a double whammy. So we had to fix it, and that's why we were like, hey, let's just create a new platform with this philosophy and with this sort of core problem in mind. While Saral does the influencer marketing and the management and the tracking and all of that, Saathi solves for one question and one question only, is proving what is incremental with your affiliate program.
Yeah. I was thinking about this whole incrementality thing because I think maybe people need to more understand what that actually is. When someone says incrementality, like what does it actually mean in a way that maybe a brand's doing $100K a month, so they would understand like what's the difference between maybe an affiliate who's driving new customers versus one who is just intercepting people that are already in the checkout flow, right?
Yeah, good question. I think incrementality in simple words is answering the question, would this sale have happened anyway?
Right.
If it would have happened anyway, then your marketing spend is not incremental. Versus if it wouldn't have happened anyway, but your marketing spend and your effort and your creative made it happen, is when that spend can be considered incremental. So simple definition. So now that we have the definition out of the way, an example of an affiliate who is non-incremental would be, let's say like somebody's coupon code leaks on a coupon code website, or somebody intentionally posts their coupon code on a site like Reddit or Honey to get more coupon usages. Now that affiliate is very cunningly like positioning themselves at the last touch of the funnel, right, and handing out their cookies or handing out their discount codes to the browser during checkout, and then getting all the credit. That's a non-incremental affiliate. Right. On the flip side, an incremental affiliate or influencer is somebody who makes interesting content about your product and then promotes it in an Instagram story and then links to their affiliate link on that story that educates the person about the product. The person clicks on the link and buys. If that story didn't exist, they wouldn't have bought. Now that it exists, they have purchased. Hence, that affiliate or influencer is incremental. So that's how I would think of it.
I see. And so it's interesting with Saathi because like doing my research, I can see that you don't necessarily, because they are separate products, you don't necessarily have to be a Saral customer to actually, enjoy the benefits of Saathi. So can you talk about that, a little bit about that? Because I think there was some mindset around building this product and saying, hey, we don't care what influencer platform or program that you're currently running with. If you want to join us over at Saral, great. But the main crux of our conversation today is solving this unique problem. So let's talk about how, the fact that it can work with any influencer type program as a separate entity and how they can connect.
Yeah, good question. So the way we think of influencer programs or Saral and Saathi is the influencer program, which may or may not be Saral. We're happy if it's Saral. That's the relationship engine. That's like how you find these people, how you contact them, how you stay in touch with them, manage them, all of that. Right. Saathi is the measurement and attribution and fraud prevention engine. So Saathi helps you make a robust and fair program that protects you from fraud and protects the affiliates from not getting any attribution. And Saral is like the relationship engine that helps you find these people, manage them, reach out, all of that. Obviously, these two things talk to each other. They integrate. So if you are using Saral, you get the benefits of using Saathi as well. But you don't have to be using Saral. You can still use Saathi to manage your affiliates. And that's it. Or maybe you're not building it. There's so many brands that don't have an influencer program, but they do have an affiliate program. And then they can still run their affiliates on Saathi. So, yeah.
I see. Well, the other thing I noticed too, and actually attempted to, just before recording, I actually downloaded and installed the app itself in my demo store because I wanted to kind of see. I noticed that there's this kind of survey kind of attribution, which I think it's almost like the human layer that goes along with all of this. Can you talk a bit about like literally, I guess you're asking customers like how they heard about the brand. And I'm just trying to figure out in practice, like how does that change the picture of what click-based tracking does alone versus maybe asking the question kind of post-purchase?
So much. Yeah, great question. So here's another thing we realized, and so much of what we've built in Saathi is like fixing some of the realizations about the truth of consumer behavior that we learned running Saral. Right. So here's the truth of consumer behavior. They're going to watch 7 influencers post about you over the weekend while they're scrolling. And then one fine day, maybe they're at the commute to work. They're going to remember your brand. They're going to search for you. And then they're just going to buy using they click on you on Google and they buy. Right. So the attribution would say that, hey, this sale was driven by organic traffic. Like that's where it came from. But it really came from those 7 influencers who spoke about you over the weekend on their TikTok, right? So how do you attribute this? There is no way because they haven't clicked. They haven't used the code. They just bought. Right. But the sale still, the demand was created by the influencers and captured by organic traffic or Google ads or whatever, right? So how do you track demand creation? One of the best ways is just get what I call first party attribution. So, hey, ask the customer where they found you. So one thing you could do is in Saathi, in just one click of a button, you just toggle it on, and there's a post-purchase survey on your checkout with pre-built questions. Obviously, you can edit them if you want to, but we have our highest performing template. And you can literally ask people, and the people can search through your database of affiliates on Saathi and tell you like, hey, at Steve Hutt posted about this, right? Or at Yash posted about this, and then they can send you that info, and then Saathi will show you that in a beautiful dashboard, and you can see, hey, these are the non-click, non-code sales that were driven by affiliates that weren't tracked through my click-based tracking. So yeah.
What's interesting, so how do you merge then this kind of self-reported data with maybe the click data, because I think it's very interesting. And then is it just for you to know if in fact, if there's just like brand organic reach that's just happening? Because I guess not all of a sudden you're not going to pay an influencer if there's nothing really associated to the conversion, but upon checkout the person has said no, it's Steve Hutt. And I don't think you're going to manually give somebody commission, but you're getting this information anyways. What's your thoughts on that?
Good question. We currently are not enabling brands to use the post-purchase survey as a way of compensating the creator.
Okay, good. Okay.
So it's purely a data collection method, so brands can understand that, hey, there are off-channel, off-link, non-link, non-code conversions that are happening through our influencers, and some of those influencers may actually be not the same people who are driving the clicks, because there's a type of influencer who posts a certain type of content that gets clicked on, and there is a type of influencers who post content that gets a lot of awareness, that gets somebody to Google your brand on a weekday when they're on the commute to work, right? So those sorts of insights will simply be surfaced for now. We will see how this plays out, how open brands are to maybe even compensating creators who pop up in the post-purchase, and then open that up for incentivization too. But for now, it's like purely like a data collection and reporting methodology, so brands understand that, hey, there are sales coming from non-attributed sources.
Yeah. Let's talk about fraud, because I think there's another thing that really caught my attention, because you mentioned that, brands are uncovering, thousands of dollars in fraudulent commissions. And they keep paying out, without naming any names. Can you kind of walk me through what this actually looks like? Like, what type of fraud does your tool catch maybe that other tools are missing, and, any dollar amounts and
Yeah, just I'll tell you we can dive into the types of fraud and what Saathi catches, but just brings a story to mind. So I think on Thursday or Friday last week, we were just running early onboarding. We were onboarding a brand, and we onboarded them, their affiliate program, migrated the data, and it's showing me that there is one affiliate who's driven some $40,000 roughly in sales over the last 3 months, so Q1 data, right? And we're like, that's interesting, because everyone else has driven maybe $1,000 in sales.
Right.
So who is this great person driving so many sales? So we look, and it's this momfluencer with some 3,000 followers on Instagram. And we're like, that sounds like this person does not have the reach to drive this much in sales. What's going on? So we're like, so our fraud engine kind of flagged that as an anomaly, that, hey, this person seems a little bit suspicious given their reach. Then we ran a code leak scan in Saathi, and then we found that actually there is a code called Josie20 that's out there on Reddit, on Honey, on Capital One, and all these sites, and it caught it. And then we deleted that code. We informed the affiliate, and that was that. So there was a significant amount of fraud. There were some about $9,000 in commissions that this person had raked up for effectively not promoting the brand. So it's tough. The fraud is a real problem, and there's so many types of it. Some of the ones that are in this story are, hey, codes get leaked, right? So either the affiliate intentionally leaked the codes, or sometimes scrapers would find their codes and leak them on Honey. Right, so there's one. Speaking of Honey, there's obviously those coupon injections that happen during checkout.
Yeah.
There's that. There is running paid ads against your own keywords to an affiliate landing page. So now your ads you are paying more for ads because an affiliate is bidding on your keyword, driving traffic to a page with a better offer because, hey, maybe you've offered them a 20% off, which nobody else gets. So now they can advertise that and cannibalize your ad revenue while also you paying them commissions for the sale that otherwise your Google ad would have captured, for instance, right?
Right.
So there's levels to that. There is suspicious geo-traffic. So affiliates would drive, especially if you're incentivizing by clicks, affiliates would maybe sign up for a click farm, drive a lot of clicks, drive some fraudulent orders, then claim refunds on those orders. That's another type of fraud. There's so many of these. And Saathi is we have a very robust AI fraud engine that keeps tab of all of these types and then catches them, flags them, and then in 1 or 2 clicks, brands can decide what they want to do. For instance, hey, code Josie20 has leaked. What do you want to do? Do you want to delete the code, keep the code, remove the commissions in just 1 click? All of that is sorted. So
I see. So what about, I guess this is another thing I'm thinking about too right now is about the retention of affiliates, because here's my thought. Like, I think most people kind of overlook this, because I think you talk a little bit about affiliate retention. I think you even use the word gamification a lot, but like most brands that I talk to are unfortunately on this treadmill of like constantly recruiting new affiliates, because like you mentioned too, the old ones just stop posting. And so like, what are you doing differently on the affiliate experience side? Like how does that connect maybe to better overall performance?
Yeah, I think like one of the things you should be doing on the affiliate side is, like you said, gamify their experience, because you want them to work towards a certain milestone. So if it's like a commission tier, that's great. Everyone has that, right? Mm-hmm. What everyone doesn't have is, hey, when you cross $5,000 in sales, you get a $600 bonus, right? That's a great milestone to hit, and that's a great reward to get. People are gonna drive towards that milestone. Right. So that's setting up something like that is very easy on Saathi. Or things like challenges, like, hey, if you post 3 times over the next 2 weeks about this product, because we have like a sale going on, or like an offer, perfect. Then we're gonna pay you $500, something like that. So this is all logistically. You just set it up once. Whoever does the behavior that needs to be rewarded is automatically tracked and automatically rewarded by Saathi. So you don't have to lift a finger beyond just creating a reward. So that's like mechanistically how Saathi does it. But like, creator retention or affiliate retention is a huge thing. Mm-hmm. Brands would just not care about the affiliate experience long term, and then simply keep recruiting people, right? Keep seeding, keep reaching out to more and more and more. And what happens is you build a bloated, large affiliate program where most people are just not active. So you want people to be active. You want higher activation rates. So doing things like gamifications, other things like, hey, personalize their landing pages. So there is maybe their name on the landing page. Like, hey, Steve Hutt gifted you a 20% off. That goes a long way in like both keeping the affiliate happy and also improves your conversion rates on the website. So there's stuff like that you can do. But yeah, so that's some of the importance of creator retention.
Very cool. Now, what about like I'm going to call it like stage specific guidance, because one thing about this show is because there's some early stage, mid market, and there's a certain amount of enterprise people that are listening, and I like my show to be a little bit practical a bit. So let's say merchants that are, I don't know, if a brand's doing like $1 million a year and running a basic affiliate program with with one of the established tools, like what should they look at first? As far as their next steps?
If you have any sort of affiliate program, you likely have some degree of fraud that you're overpaying for. Right. Like the least you could do, honestly, is literally just sign up for a free trial of Saathi on the App Store and just get a fraud scan. You're going to find out you're paying a lot in fraudulent commissions if you have a sizable program. So number one, do that. I think number two, what you need to do to scale is really look at, even if you don't end up using Saathi, what you need to look at is how many of the affiliates that I have are truly active. Right. So, hey, you may have 45 people in your affiliate program, but maybe only 10 of them are really ever even driving traffic or talking about you at all. So email the 35 other people and ask them like, hey, if we're kind of purging people, so if you're interested, reply to this email. If not, we'll delete you, right? So delete them, because you should be tracking quality metrics like revenue per ambassador, for instance. So if you have a large program but a low RPA, then you just have a lot of noise in your program and your efforts are spread too thin. So you might as well focus on your key affiliates and then try to scale from that point instead of trying to just scale aggressively. So 1, look at fraud. 2, look at the inactive affiliates, purge them away, focus on your high performers, and then try getting more people like them.
And I think it would be interesting too to re-engage and or prune some of these relationships too, because I think you want to incentivize and motivate and thank them of the good influencers that you have. On the flip side, you used to promote us. Who are you promoting now? Are you still doing this? And at least you're out there having a dialogue.
Yes, totally. And you got to keep purging them every quarter, pretty much, because there's naturally going to be some inactivity and churn in your affiliate program. So there's just automations that you can set up in Saathi, and just it'll automatically surface all your inactive affiliates every month, every quarter. And then you can just purge them at the click of a button. So we really want brands to focus on building quality programs as opposed to just scaling meaninglessly and having these vanity numbers of, hey, we have 1,000 affiliates, but then, only 70 of them actually do any work. So why do the other 930 people even exist? Just to, for your ego? So remove them. Yeah.
Absolutely. The other thing I notice on this show that it's come up quite a bit is the unfortunate disconnect between marketing and finance. A lot of times the CFO, has certain mandates to the CEO of the company. Marketing's kind of in their own silo, kind of doing their thing. Yeah. What's your thought process around, I guess, maybe the CMO trying to defend their budget, but then I think CFOs are being scrutinizing a lot about, are we truly the most profitable business? And and so I just want to hear your mindset around, because clearly you're solving this problem, but I want to make sure that we're thinking about the marketer's side and the financial side and how we're able to kind of speak the same language.
Yeah, I think often things like influencer marketing have been ascribed to brand or this untrackable ether of marketing where hey, you just spend money and something happens and something doesn't. I think we solved that problem by really showing brands what's incremental and what's not. And CFOs are liking that because they love seeing things like, hey, maybe there was no activity, but some of these people are being surfaced in post-purchase surveys, right? So that's an interesting signal for a CFO. Catching fraud is great because now your CFO is not paying $4,000 in commissions to a fraudulent affiliate. That's really nice. So I think marketers and finance people tend to have a little bit of a contentious relationship, but I think it's kind of by design because the tools are so backward that the CFO is purely looking at last click attribution. The marketer kind of knows that, my influencer posting about me 15 times last week probably does something to the bottom line, but there's no way to track that. And some of the tools we're building help solve that. So I think with better tooling, better tech, some of these gaps can be bridged. And marketers need to be a little bit open to quantifying the impact of their brand spend and level up in terms of attribution knowledge, understand that last click is like a broken way to attribute any sort of influencer spend and so on. So
it's interesting. I think marketing leaders and stuff like that, you really could use the data from your platform. Really, you can walk into a budget meeting with a lot of confidence. Right? So totally. I think that's important.
Yep.
So that's really cool. So what do you think are some of the next steps now? Because there's people that are listening right now. You're fully launched in the App Store, and you mentioned there's definitely an audit available, and we have a landing page. There's free trials available. So I'll just give you the opportunity now to say, hey, you know what? We're new. We're not new in this space, but we're new with this platform with Saathi. So let's talk about potential next steps and maybe the sweet spot of people where you have enough data behind you that it actually can be measurable and very impactful.
Yeah, I actually want to share a little bit of news that maybe your viewers have heard or not heard. Instagram has now enabled external linking on Reels.
Yes.
So now influencers can link to their affiliate links on Reels, which are one of the highest reach assets because they can go viral beyond the follower count. And unlike stories, they don't expire in 24 hours. So they can just keep getting you traffic and sales. So that is huge. So with platforms like Instagram, I think there's going to be more things like these coming from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube obviously already has links in the description.
Right.
With these things happening, I think affiliate and like Steve said, CFO scrutiny is keeps on rising.
Yeah.
Affiliate, you can dictate your ROAS. Instead of your CFO looking at your Facebook ROAS, you can literally say like, hey, I'm offering a 20% commission, which is a 5x ROAS, right? So if you want that degree of control with the platforms now incentivizing that to some degree, now is the best time to be doing an affiliate program. It's Q2, run a test. There is a free trial of Saathi. It's mysaathi.io. So mysathi.io. I'm sure Steve will leave all the links in the show notes, but that's our website. Feel free to go there, get a free trial, check it out. At the very least, run a fraud scan if you have like a serious affiliate program and see how much is fraudulent. And if you want to keep using Saathi for some of the better attribution and the fraud scanning and the creator retention and everything we spoke of. Sign up, check it out. So
it's totally, and I just, and seeing it all too. And I watched the YouTube video and stuff, and just kind of like walking through the platform. It's pretty cool. Like when you have real time kind of performance metrics and really have a brand, kind of a home dashboard and stuff. It's really neat, kind of what you've built. So it's pretty exciting.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah.
So this is awesome. All right, well, I'll make sure everything's in the show notes. Thanks again for hustling and getting this recorded today. I know it's there's a lot going on, and but I think
it's a busy time.
It is, right, but I think it's this sort of thing needs to get out into the wild, and I think there is. I think my takeaway is there is a lot of fraud going on right now, and I think we're talking about like the CAC is really high, and like acquiring net new customers is quite expensive, and knowing that, and being a more financially compliant and prudent company, it makes sense just to make sure that you are paying the appropriate affiliate commissions as needed, and this tool kind of really is one part of the puzzle, I think, that's solved. And then the post-purchase attribution is really helpful too, in having the great survey and stuff. I think it's really cool what you've built. So kudos to you, and thanks again for recording, and have yourself a great day.
You as well. Thanks for having me on, Steve.
All right. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you personally for being a loyal listener of E-commerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.